let's talk about the proper paperwork for cremation. Well, when you go in to have your loved one cremated, you have to fill out final disposition paperwork. We have to fill out cremation paperwork. There's a lot of questions. Each one has to be initialed. At the end, it has to be signed. It's dated. If both parents are alive, they both have to sign. They both have to agree. I had one particular family. The man had 2 children. His mother was alive, and there was no spouse. Now, in a situation like that, the children who are over 18 would have complete say over their father being buried or cremated. Now, the daughter wanted the father cremated. The daughter and her father's mother, the man who had passed away, were in my office and doing paperwork for cremation. The son, he wanted his father buried. I made it very clear to this family that we could not cremate without the son's permission. He had to agree also. He had to sign the paperwork, and that's just the only way it could be done. Well, the girl, the daughter, didn't want her daddy in the ground. The son didn't want his daddy burned up. It's heartbreaking. Wow. The day of. Here I am, getting ready to lead the funeral procession because he had to be buried because the son would not sign for the cremation. And so here I am getting ready to lead the procession in when I get the funeral director coming to me saying, just hold up, don't take him there yet, don't take him yet, just keep him right there, don't bring him in yet. And I was like, okay, so I'm waiting to lead this whole procession out, and I waited the amount of time that they told me to, and so then I led the family out to the graveside, and this made the news, by the way. Milwaukee Valhalla Cemetery, this made the news. And so I lead them in, and as I'm leading them in, I'm watching. They already buried him. Wow, the family went nutso, which you can't blame them. And so now the funeral director is telling our the men who do the grave digging and everything. They're telling him, dig him back up. And I was like, you can't do that. Y'all went too far. Now it's called the disinterment. Now there has to be paperwork. Now there's a problem. Now we're going to go back to the person who said, anyway, I'm just going to cut to the chase for you. So what happened was the gravedigger kept digging, pulled the casket out with chains, right? Now this is a cheap casket. What happened was when they pulled it out, the casket popped open and the head rolled. Well, the poor mother screamed and passed out. Here's why that happened. Huge investigation at the cemetery over this. They all had guns. And they were afraid that they'd all start shooting before they would allow the father to be put in the ground. Because remember, the daughter didn't want her daddy in the ground. This is very serious stuff. People, this affects your mind forever. This is your loved one. And my whole point to this whole story is Don't mess with people. That mother had a gun in her purse. She pulled it out and she showed me. I mean, they all had guns. Yeah. Anyway, my point is, there is a chain of command when it comes to cremation. If they're married, the wife or the husband has full say. Parents have no say. Kids have no say. I don't care if you're 18, 21. You have no say. Spouse has all say. I don't care if they're married 10 seconds. Spouse has all say. If there is no spouse and children are over 18, children have say. But they have to agree. And it has to be signed. Proof. In the final disposition paperwork, the cremation paperwork. And there has to be an identification. There has to be. And you can't demand to see somebody if they have been pretty much destroyed. They can still be buried. I did one particular burial where the poor girl was just, and the parents didn't want to cremate her. You know, I can understand that. And so we had to put her in a plastic bag in the coffin, closed coffin, with her favorite things in there and clothes and just what meant something to her. It's heartbreaking. But no, the family was not allowed to see her. You know, but she did have to be identified through other means. And that's what I'm talking about with the Idaho 4 case. I want to see procedure. I would love to see the file. I personally, you know, I mean, it's just my opinion from just what I know from being in the business. I don't believe what's being told to us. The heating and cooling truck. Do you know that the heating and cooling guy, the HVAC guy, was there the day of when they were all investigating, when all the police were? What was the HVAC guy doing there? And then lo and behold, then right after that, they tarp it up. Wake up, everybody. We're being lied to. Demand to see the paperwork, final disposition paperwork. I would love to view it for each of them. You know, and you know, blood has to be taken. Samples have to be taken of the body, and those are all kept. Everything's kept from autopsy. Where's the blood samples? Where is everything? Because it would have to match up to their blood type if it was really them. I hear all these different stories. But what makes the most sense to me from what's been put in front of me is that they were put in the furnace at the university, and they thought that the bones would just turn ash, but they didn't realize that's not how cremation works. And that's why I believe during the investigation the HVAC guy was there, and he had to come back to shut the furnace down to remove the skeletons from the furnace. That is my opinion. I want to see proof that Ethan was really buried. I want to see proof that anybody was cremated. And how do you know that the correct person was cremated? Because there's no way that you can get the DNA off cremains. It's over. So if you really wanted to catch a killer, I had one family. The mother died on the toilet. They kept that lady on ice for over a year before the police released her for a funeral. I'm telling you, I know too much to fall for what they're telling us. And you can go ahead and spend your time watching these paid creators who had 6 followers yesterday and 18,000 today. A little suspicious. But keep following. It's like a soap opera, okay? Do you, boo. Do you.